right? Um, Pan United, a bit of background, I take a step back. A lot of people naturally do not understand um, concrete. People think that concrete is actually cement or this gray slab of metal that is being used in the construction. So actually, concrete actually involves a combination of sand, uh, dust, cement, as well as cementitious product. What cementitious product is things like from byproduct from the blast furnace steel, with what we call ground granulated blast furnace slag, which is, or in short, slag cement. There are silica fumes. It's another byproduct of the silica industry as well, and fly ash, which we don't use in Singapore, and of course the combination with aggregates, which is the small stones, and we add together with water and admixtures, chemicals, right, to be developed in the batching plants, right. So we have batching plants around the country. By virtue, obviously, we are the single largest player, about 40% market share, and that will be carried through ready-mix trucks to the construction site. Okay, so this is a total supply chain, right? And the the last part of it is just in time because the life cycle of concrete is just 2 hours. If we don't, if we continue, if we don't do anything within the 2 hours, that will have to be recycled. If not, the whole drum will be need to be rehacked, right? So that basically in short what is RMC. So and then the next part is what is Pan United in relation to the total supply chain. So Pan United is a very vertically integrated business of concrete and cement. We have our cement site, which is in Jurong Port. We have 3 silos under a company called United Cement, as well as another joint venture company called Raffles Cement. Our joint venture partners are Ube and Itochu. Our capacity is about circa 20% of the total capacity in Singapore. Notwithstanding, our market share on cement is about 35% of the overall industry, right? Again, on the vertical side, we built a slag grinding plant in South Johor, which went into commercial operation in 2018. In terms of aggregate and dust, we have a quarry mine in Karimun, which is south of Singapore. So those are basically our supply chain, our raw materials coming into our business. Of course, we do import a lot of cement, and so even we have a slag manufacturing plant in Johor, we still import through the cement, as well we import sand and stones. And that whole upstream will be used for the manufacturing of our concrete business in Singapore, which we undertake through a brand new concrete, right? As I say, our footprint involves the region. So we have FICO Panyu, which we have a 55% stake in Ho Chi Minh. That is one of the largest ready-mix player in Ho Chi Minh as well. And we have started our business Fortistar back in 2016, 2017 in Singapore, in Malaysia, sorry, that developed from Johor, Malacca, KL, and now we have one plant in Penang, right? So in terms of products, PenU believes in product innovation and providing concrete solutions. So when we say this gray matter or gray slab of concrete, it doesn't stop there. That we over years have developed 300 highly specialized concrete solutions through in-house R&D. Our innovation center is in Singapore at Kaki Bukit, where we have a team of material scientists and engineers that focus on product innovation, as well as development of customized solutions. In the development of product, there are a few fronts. One is that we anticipate the market and we develop product on anticipation of what product customer wants, which I can mention a bit. One of it is actually sustainable concrete, for instance. which I will go a bit further, CO2 injected concrete solutions that we develop. The other one is continuously collaboration with customers, institutions, and consultants, right? A bit of example of how that develops. The next slide, we showed, I don't want to show too much products, just focus on a few things. One is on the marine and port sector. As you can see, this is Hillet Bridge. And underneath the bridge, the concrete that was developed will need to withstand the changing tides. As well as when you pump into the water, you need to displace water and sets naturally underwater. So we developed certain our concrete called Penyu Watercrete. We have Penyu Calcium that we use for glass megaport. So those are the concrete that's developed for the marine industry as well as the port industry. Something that you all may be familiar with is that our National Cancer Center, we collaborate closely with the institution, Singapore National Cancer Center, to develop Penyu Shield, whereby the concrete itself will be able to shield against hazardous neutron and proton radiation. In that concrete itself will also be able to reduce the real estate. Previously, to shield the radiation rays, the thickness will be need about 6 meters. From this product that we developed, it have reduced to 1.8 meter. So that reduced the real estate. Of course, the funny thing is after this, we found that many of the doctors and nurses have started to ask for these products in other hospitals that came about, right? Last but not least, I mean, something that's very dear to us is sustainability, and I'll spend a bit some time on sustainability. As you can see, this is marina-based sand, Garden by the Bays, and we actually developed sustainable products for that, which is like Penyu Green in the usage of the concrete in Garden by the Bays. So what is in circle of sustainability? Our focus is always in low carbon footprint concrete, right, in the development to our customers, right? So sustainability is something that is important. It got a bit more sexy over the years, but really for Pan United, it's something that is something we believe in and what we have been putting a lot of effort for the last 20 years. Why last 20 years? We are the forefront industry to lead in the low carbon footprint concrete, right? And we are a company that single-handedly use and bring, we are the single largest usage of slag cement, as I mentioned. Slag cement is a byproduct of the blast furnace steel plants, and we use it a lot in our business, right? For the last 20 years, we have used all types of recycled materials from recycled silica fumes. We also look into our marine industry where we recycle copper slags that is scrapped up from the hull to use in our business. We recycle the concrete that is not used in level concrete in our business. We recycle our water that is, we actually have a system where we capture water so that the water can be recycled and used to wash trucks in our plant, you know. So things like this have been ongoing for the last 20 years. It's not something that is new to us. So we're very proud that Pan United is the first and only concrete firm to receive the Sustainability Leadership Award in green building product, jointly conferred by the Singapore Green Building Council and BCA. This is in recognition for our achievement in developing a green and sustainable built environment. So, few things: low carbon footprint concrete that we develop for a sustainable green and built environment in Singapore. And one of the iconic projects that has been used, a lot of it is actually in our Johor Changi Airport. Yeah. So I mentioned just now, while we develop products, we also anticipate products requirements. And one of it is, I can see, is that our partnership from Carbon Cure. Carbon Cure is a Canadian firm. If you Google, you can see that even Microsoft and I think Amazon actually invested in them. It's a Canadian company, and it's a company with technology for carbon CO2 injected concrete. We partnered them back in 2019, and we have been since been using this technology. We have the right of this technology, working with Carbon Cure to distribute that technology around the region. What is CO2 injected concrete? The technology itself enables the use of CO2 in the production of concrete. Why this is important? Because there is a technology, while it's expensive, but it's the price, the value and the cost of it is coming down. It's basically capturing CO2 from the environment and convert it to liquid CO2. And that CO2 is to be, and for us, is a user to inject it in the production of concrete. So in all essence, it reduces the CO2 emission in the air. And why we do that is also that enhances the comprehensive strength of concrete. Last but not least, it actually reduces the use of ordinary Portland cement, which is what we call cement, layman calls cement, right? And production of OPC actually emits a lot of the CO2 because in the production you use a lot of electricity, you use coal, right? So similar wise, why we use a lot of byproducts like slag cement, silica fumes, as well as also like sorry, this the last one was the copper slag we use in our business. Right? So that's where we are in sustainability. I'll take a step back a bit on technology on the next part and explain a bit more on why in 2008 we decided that we want to be a technology company in concrete and logistics. So our digital transformation journey started in 2014, and the main crux of it is the creation of core technology for our business. We wanted technology for us to be competitive and to make things work in our business. Unfortunately, we are unable to find a solution. Hence, we have to set up our own team to develop a concrete management system for our usage. So in the process of our journey from 2014 to 2001 and now, we continuously improve our technology. So that technology involves started from centralization of people from all over the batching plant to one place to manage the trucks, and that created a fleet management system. And then from there on, we enhance it further with plant optimization, raw material management, quality control. Then we found that we need to go a bit further. Our customers need to understand how much concrete has been in their site at the press of a button. Then we create a customer relation management system. So that, and then over time, lately we start overlaying that with artificial intelligence, cloud computing, weather forecasting, things like that to make it more robust. Okay, so that's where our journey started in 2018. We decided that with all this technology that we have, while we are core brick and mortar business in concrete and logistics and cement, we wanted to transform ourselves to a technology company in concrete and logistics because this is actually our backbone of our business. Logistics, as of course, concrete. And hence we have 2019, we set up two businesses. One is called AIR, it's artificial intelligence or ready mix. We are a company called Air Digital Solutions and GoTruck, which I will spend a quick brief on it later. So 2020, unfortunately, all of us have went through an unprecedented disruption. And glass half full, half empty, as always used. It was a painful affair, but it amplifies the value of digitalization in the built environment. It takes us about 2 years to roll out electronic DO, and we completed it in 2019. In 2020, our customers have been asking around our other competitors for the same EDO. So So that is how important this. We have, because of this environment, we have things like quality control through Zoom, virtually, rather than people at site. We created uh, new product solutions that are able to minimize the people handling of concrete and things and so on and so forth. So digital transformation and digitalization become a very important thing in the built environment because of basically safety measures by due to this uh, COVID pandemic, right? So the next part of it is a bit highlight of what is our air. So from our core concrete management system, we establish a new business. I mean, in short, basically, we monetize uh, our business, our core technology. We set up a business where for software as a service of a concrete management system that able to operate across the whole supply chain. So that key modules around those in this system is basically raw material management, plant optimization, fleet management, fleet planning, quality control, as I mentioned, quality relationship management, e-billings, right? Um, Today, a lot of places for not in I'm not saying Singapore, but a lot of places, I'm sure it takes a few weeks for the customer to get feedback on how much concrete have been delivered on the site. For us, our customers have that at end of the day every day. How much concrete has delivered at site. For us internally as management, we have dashboard that see how much concrete has been delivered, how much cement has been sold. So that is what customer relation management entails. So from that perspective, we managed to enter the partnership agreement with the South Korea's largest RMC player, Eugene, in January 2020. Unfortunately, after we entered into this joint MOU, COVID happened. So at this point of time, we're working very closely with them, starting around maybe about third quarter last year to revitalize this project. And we are continuously having Zoom discussion with them right now. Yeah. The next part that came about from it was a company that we established called GoTruck. GoTruck is primarily is an end-to-end business-to-business supply chain and logistics platform. So we took our fleet management system for raw materials and we IP in the company called GoTruck, and that was launched in 2019. And the platform is basically for commercial vehicles in the construction sector. It's a marketplace. Today, we have grown to carry and manage cement, sand, stones, we call aggregates, giant cargo, recycled materials, and even earthwork, which just started this year. As a secondary business, we overlay with a few supply to transporters. So I'm proud to say that from 2019 onwards today, GoTruck carries about 1 million tons of cargo a month. And for fuel supply, it actually supplies about over 1 million liters of fuel a month. So that's where we are in GoTruck. The next slide will give an overview on how our brick and mortar business overlays with technology and our new businesses in the tech space. So as you can see, the raw materials I mentioned to you on upstream, we have United Cement, which is cement, we have OPC and slag, we have sand and dust and aggregates. Those will be delivered into Singapore in Jurong Port as well as the landing site. Either Tuas or at Changi or at Punggol. And we have our platform business, GoTruck, that carries for ourselves as well as external customers those raw materials into the batching plant. Of course, as I said, GoTruck have expanded a bit more to even carrying recycled materials, giant cargoes, as well as for other customers in other industry. Right. Then on the technology platform side, we overlay air, right, where it helps on plant optimization, customer relation management, as well as quality controls, and that will fleet management of on GIT perspective for our RMC trucks to a construction site to our customers. So this is basically holistically how we overlay our brick and mortar business with our technology business as a whole, right? Next slide will basically quickly an overview of how that comes together. Even with pandemic, we are very proud that we did the largest concrete mass pour in Singapore in 2020. How it came together, just a quick one is, this is our high value customer, Hyundai, with a strategic infrastructure project and Labrador area. And I say that GoTruck provides the raw material supply. We have our air technology solution platform, which is our internal in-house concrete management system to provide a seamless relay of trucks every 60 seconds, right? It was two large pours. One is in October and one is in November last year. Each first pour was about 19,000 meter cubes of concrete for 57 hours non-stop. The other one was for 18,300 meter cubes for 42 hours non-stop. And that is done because of this air platform that we have. We're able to encapsulate that. Of course, when we do that, customers will have online or updated information at any time how much concrete we delivered. And to overlay that, we actually work closely with the customer to develop specialized concrete that able to remain workable for 6 hours as compared to a normal concrete that only work for 2 hours. So this is really how our brick and mortar business linked with our new technology business, and that overlays that together in a real life situation last year. So that's what I have for Peng United. I will quickly do a brief summary of financials. Next. These are 3 slides. I think there's nothing much time you can spend on here. I think last year was obviously the revenue had dropped quite tremendously. We have about 400 million revenue, of which most of it comes from concrete and cement business. Our co-trading business have dropped quite substantially to about 17 million. So the trading business, we do not foresee that will be substantially large this year as well because of the industry. So what we see is that definitely an improvement for a revenue for the CNC business. The next slide, basically amalgamation of PATMI and EBITDA. Last year, we are more or less 1 million PATMI, which is more or less break even. You can see that EBITDA is still more or less the same as 2018. Highest EBITDA was about 54 million in 2019. We foresee that our EBITDA will improve. EBITDA margin remained strong at 7% last year and the year before. The next slide basically shows really what is our RMC business. Why we showed 3 years was because 2018 January was where we did the merger of our core business, and that's where we can see our real concrete and cement business. And you can see that in terms of balance sheet perspective, our book value remains constant, about 200 million. Our debt was about 153 million, 154 million in 2018. They have dropped to about 100 million in 2020. Hence, our net gearing has dropped from 0.5x to 0.2x in 2020. Last year we are blessed that we are able to generate high cash flows. We were able to from our receivables, and hence you can see that we on operating cash flow basis for 2019 and 2020 we managed to generate about 40 million cash, and then 2020 we even generated 60 million cash. To summarize everything, most of the cash we used to pay down on debt, so that we maintain tight on our gearing ratio. And in terms of capex, we don't see much. Our capex maintains stabilized around the 10 million circle level, of which 1/3 or 1/4 will be funded from technology spend. So that hereby I end my briefing. Thank you very much.